What if I told you that the way you think about money is even more important than the amount of money you earn right now? The truth is, most people are trapped not by their paycheck, but by their mindset. They see money only as something to spend, something scarce, or something that controls their lives. And that way of thinking keeps them stuck. But the wealthiest, most successful people in the world think about money in a completely different way. They don't see money as a limit. They see it as a tool, a resource, and a multiplier of opportunities. Here's the exciting part. You don't need to be rich already to start thinking like the wealthy. You can adopt their mindset right now, wherever you are, with whatever income you have. And once you shift your perspective, everything changes. The way you earn, the way you save, the way you invest, and even the way you live your daily life. In today's video, I'm going to share with you the most powerful way to think about money, a mindset that will transform not only your bank account, but also your confidence, your decisions, and your future. We'll explore practical examples, inspiring stories, and proven strategies so you can start applying this new perspective immediately. So, if you're ready to break free from the old beliefs that keep you limited and step into a new way of thinking that leads to freedom and wealth, hit the like button, subscribe to Draw My Money, and let's begin. Key 1. Money is a tool, not the goal. Biggest mistake most people make is treating money as the ultimate goal. They say things like, if only I had $1 million, I'd finally be happy. But here's the truth, money by itself has no meaning. You can't eat it, you can't wear it, and you can't build a meaningful life just by stacking bills in your account. Money is only powerful when you use it as a tool to build the life you want. Think about a hammer. A hammer can build a house, or it can sit in a toolbox collecting dust. The value is not in the hammer itself, but in how you use it. Money works the same way. Some people use it to buy liabilities, things that lose value the moment they swipe their card. Others use it to buy assets, things that grow, multiply, and give them freedom. The same dollars in different hands can lead to completely different lives, depending on whether the person sees money as a toy or as a tool. Here's a practical example. Imagine two people earning the same salary. The first spends their extra money on designer clothes, expensive gadgets, and nights out. They feel rich for a moment, but at the end of the month they have nothing left. The second person takes that same money and invests it in a course to learn new skills, starts a small side hustle, or buys shares in an index fund. A year later, the first person is still in the same place, while the second has planted seeds that will grow for years to come. When you see money as the goal, you spend your life chasing it. When you see money as a tool, you spend your life building with it. That simple shift creates an entirely new future. Key 2. Money follows value, not effort. One of the hardest truths for people to accept is that money does not always go to the hardest worker. If that were the case, construction workers, nurses, and farmers would all be millionaires. The reality is that money flows to those who create the most value, not just those who put in the most effort. Think about it. A janitor can work 12 hours a day, but the value created is limited and replaceable, so the pay is low. Meanwhile, an entrepreneur can create an app that solves a problem for millions of people and make more in 1 month than most people make in a lifetime. It is not because the entrepreneur worked harder in terms of hours, but because the value created was multiplied across millions of users. This shift is life-changing. Instead of asking, how can I work harder? Start asking, how can I create more value? How can I solve bigger problems for more people? That is the question wealthy people ask themselves every single day. Here's a practical example. Imagine you're good at graphic design. You could work 8 hours a day creating logos for one small business at a time. Or you could package your skills into an online course teaching thousands of people how to design their own. The effort might be similar, but the value you provide to the world is multiplied, and so is the money that flows to you. Key 3. Make money work for you. Most people spend their entire lives working for money, but the wealthy flip the script. They let money work for them. If your only strategy is trading hours for dollars, you will always be limited because you only have so many hours in a day. But when you put your money to work through saving and investing, it never sleeps, never takes vacations, and keeps multiplying even while you rest. Think about a farmer. If he eats every seed he harvests, his farm will never grow. But if he plants those seeds back into the soil, each one produces more crops for the next season. That is exactly what happens when you invest. Every dollar you put to work has the potential to grow and create more dollars. This is the principle of compound growth, often called the eighth wonder of the world. Here's a simple example. If you invest just $100 a month in an index fund that grows on average 7% a year, after 10 years, you could have nearly $17,000. Keep going for 20 years, and that grows to almost $50,000. The difference is not just the money you put in, but the money your money earned working for you. This is why wealthy people don't let their money sit idle in a regular account, losing value to inflation. They use it to buy assets that produce income, like stocks, real estate, or businesses. Each dollar becomes an employee whose job is to bring back more dollars. The more employees you have working for you, the freer you become. The secret is to start small and stay consistent. Even if you can only invest a tiny amount, the habit of making your money work will change your future. Over time, the amount grows, and so does your freedom. Key 4. Think in abundance, not scarcity. The way you think about money determines how it shows up in your life. Most people live with a scarcity mindset. They believe there is never enough, that every dollar earned by someone else is a dollar less for them, and that opportunities are limited. This way of thinking leads to fear, jealousy, and inaction. Scarcity thinkers cling to what little they have and are too afraid to take risks that could improve their future. Wealthy people, on the other hand, think in abundance. They believe opportunities are everywhere, that value can always be created, and that money is infinite when connected to ideas and action. This doesn't mean they are careless. It means they see possibility where others see limits. When others say, "I can't afford this," abundant thinkers ask, "How can I afford this?" That one question opens the mind to solutions instead of shutting the door with excuses. Here's a practical example. Imagine two people lose their jobs. The scarcity thinker panics, freezes, and spends weeks worrying about how to survive. The abundance thinker immediately starts asking, "What skills do I have? Who can I serve? How can I turn this challenge into an opportunity?" Maybe they freelance online, maybe they start a side hustle, maybe they learn a new skill quickly. Same situation, two mindsets, two completely different outcomes. Scarcity shrinks your future, abundance expands it. If you believe there's always more to create, you start seeing money as a river that flows continuously, not a puddle that will eventually dry up. This shift in thinking gives you courage to take action, to invest, to build, and to grow. Think about water. If it sits still in a pond with no flow, it becomes stagnant and unhealthy. But when water moves in a river, it stays fresh, powerful, and full of life. Money works the same way. Let it sit in a jar and it will lose power. Put it to work in savings, investments, or even in building new skills, and it keeps flowing back to you in greater amounts. Here's a simple example. If you save $500 and let it sit under your mattress, in 10 years it will actually buy you less because of inflation. But if you put that same $500 into an investment that grows at just 7% per year, it could more than double over that same period. The money didn't just sit there, it moved, it grew, and it brought more energy into your financial life. You've just learned the most powerful way to think about money, and these 5 keys can completely change your financial life. First, you discovered that money is a tool, not the goal, and when you use it intentionally, it builds freedom instead of stress. Then you saw that money follows value, not effort, which means the more problems you solve, the more wealth flows into your life. From there, you learn that money must work for you, multiplying through saving and investing instead of sitting idle. You also saw the importance of thinking in abundance, not scarcity. because opportunities are everywhere if you choose to see them. And finally, you realize that money is energy that must keep moving with purpose, because only when it flows does it grow. Here's the truth. None of these ideas require you to already be rich. They are shifts in thinking that anyone, anywhere, at any income level can adopt today. And once you make these shifts, your actions begin to change. You spend differently, you save differently, you invest differently, and most importantly, you believe differently about what is possible for you. So imagine your future. 1 year from now, do you want to be stuck in the same cycle of stress and scarcity? Or do you want to look back and realize you made the choice to start thinking differently, acting differently, and building wealth with purpose? That choice is in your hands right now. Here's my challenge for you. Pick just one of these 5 keys and start applying it today. Maybe you begin by setting aside a small investment. Maybe you shift your focus toward creating more value at work or in a side hustle. Or maybe you simply change the way you talk about money with yourself and your family. Small shifts compound into big results when you stay consistent. If this video gave you clarity and motivation, hit the like button, subscribe to Draw My Money, and share this with someone who needs to change the way they think about money. And remember, financial freedom does not start with your paycheck. It starts with your mindset. Change the way you think about money, and you change everything about your financial future.